Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kathy, would you lead us in prayer?
Certainly. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the blessings of this day, the blessings you bestowed on each and every one of us. Lord, we ask for your guidance, deliverance. We ask for your divine watchfulness over each and every one of us and our decisions for this county. We ask all of this in thy heavenly precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to our March 10th Commissioners meeting. Before we get started with the meeting, we have some very exciting news. As you can see, we have this award setting in front of us. Tell you what, Commissioner Davis, can you fill us in on what this award was, how we got it, and yeah.
So Ohio Southeast is the regional component of Jobs Ohio, and of course they cover a multi-county area, all of Southeast Ohio, and how that works is they work with the separate economic development entities within those counties. They also work with cities and municipalities, counties directly on various economic development, community development projects. And this year, Scioto County is being recognized as the site development winner for the Norfolk and Southern property, which is a joint win for Lawrence and Scioto County. Those that follow may remember that close to 3 years ago, Robert, if I'm recalling correctly, we entered into a joint cooperation agreement with the commissioners of Lawrence County as well as Lawrence County Economic Development, LEDC, Bill Dingus and Jeremy Clay and their group. And we started down that path of developing the Haverhill Corridor. Kathy, you remember it was a kumbaya moment, I guess, is what you call it, because we have so much interest in that 3,000 plus developable acres. Sitting in the middle of that is probably the prime, and was actually mentioned yesterday at the meeting, the prime development spot in the eastern United States, definitely for Ohio. And it's the Norfolk and Southern owned site next to where Suncook is now, in proximity to Franklin Furnace, Haverhill, 800 plus developable acres, where we have, as a county, invested, as well as Jobs Ohio, Ohio Southeast has invested, JEDISO has been part of that, Joint Economic Development Initiative Southern Ohio, and a whole slew of partners. The Scioto County ARC has been part of that, Appalachian Regional Commission. It was very good to see them at the meeting yesterday and talking about that. And then the Scioto County Sanitary Engineers Department, and JP Picklesheimer has been instrumental in that as well. Robert Horton and his team with Marcy Barlow, as far as working in your office and what you guys are doing. And that all culminated into yesterday, in that we have now been recognized as Scioto County and Lawrence County combined for the Site Development Award for the entire Ohio Southeast region. The work that was done, the total investment for that was over $4 million. And then of course a lot of the work has been accomplished via the Scioto County Sanitary Engineers Office and their contractors, and there's still a little bit of work to be done there, but they're getting that wrapped up. And what this means is we now have a sanitary sewer line that runs all the way from Willersburg into Lawrence County, instrumental for the Pure Cycle project, and then any other development that may pop up. As a matter of fact, there's already a second company up at that site that will be utilizing that sewer line as well. So things are happening in a big way. And we were recognized at that meeting yesterday. The governor came down, and there was other economic development professionals in the room. Appalachian Regional Commission was there, John Kerry and his team, and others. Appalachian Growth Partnership was there. Appalachian Growth Capital was there. It was definitely a who's who as far as economic development, but we were honored to be part of that. It was a great thing that really culminated last year. They're always a year behind on their awards. And I already told them that next year, for this year, will be even bigger. There's bigger things happening, and we're gonna be up on the stage quite a bit. So it was a great day. Scioto County should be very proud of the work of these individuals and what they've done to propel economic development further down the road. And with that, I would like to recognize them this morning for their hard work and their efforts. So if you could, I know you guys are embarrassed, you don't want to do this, but we want to get a picture of you all.
Don't forget.
Oh yes, absolutely. On the business park development.
The best building development.
Yeah.
We were
A finalist, yes. So we actually made the agenda twice yesterday for best building development. The SOAR Business Park was a finalist. I think we got beat out by Hancock. I'm not sure exactly, or hockey got us, but we were a finalist. And that, of course, is the SOAR Business Park development, the SOAR building that's going up, the first spec building at SOAR out at the Menford Airport. So if you drive by there on 335, you're going to see a whole lot of stuff happening, and that made a finalist list. So we were very, very excited about that. A lot of work has gone into that from this board and Scioto County Economic Development and all of our partners, of course, sanitary sewer, and name it, AEP, Water One, Menford Telephone. I could go on and on. It's just everybody, Jediso, yeah, the gas utility pipeline, what they've done to $2.8 million investment in natural gas out there. It's just, it all's coming together, and it's amazing to see the partners we have. Matter of fact, people around the state are trying to figure out, how are you doing it? How are you pulling this off? Because there's so many moving parts that are happening at the same time. And it's just, you know, I thought about this yesterday, and, you know, we as a community have been through 2 years, a tough 2 years. And I will tell you, and we know this for a fact, that there's been a lot of entities, economic development entities, that kind of laid down. Took that 2 years off and kind of just sat back and waited to see what was going to happen. We went 100 miles an hour, full steam ahead, knowing that we would be 2 years ahead of everybody else if we just kept on grinding. So that's what we did, and now we're definitely seeing the fruit of that labor paying off, and it's happening in a big way, and it's going to continue to happen. So, but enough about all of that. I want to recognize these individuals right here, because they have done the bulwark of the work here. They have worked tireless hours, way beyond anybody could ask for. And so, if you would, come on up, guys. Come on up, because we want to recognize you today. And if we could get a picture, I know, of course, Daily Times is with us today.
This is probably the only reason you're here, right?
Yes, yeah. No,
I know there's other things.
this kind of got sprung on today, but yeah, if they could come down and yeah, if we could get them the trophy there. This will be, Robert, I believe that this will be the first, yes, I think this will be the first of many, and you'll probably be putting a trophy case in your budget request here before long. So I'll come over here.
I do want to say one thing, Brian. Ohio Southeast, I can't say enough about them. Their guidance, their mentorship, helping the counties in our region, and financially supporting these projects is huge, and people need to know that. It's huge. And Ohio Southeast, the people that don't know, that is our liaison to Jobs Ohio. So with that being said, I want to, from the bottom of my heart, thank Kate Farber, Mike Jacoby, Taylor Stephen has been just huge. He handles our county, and can't thank him enough. This is good stuff.
Definitely.
Grab a quick picture.
One, two, three. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I'm serious about the trophy case.
In other words, get back to work.
Yeah.
Well done, JP.
Thank you, JP. Marcy, thank you. No, it's in your office. Yep.
You know, there's a lot of discussion in the community about community development versus economic development, and I think sometimes what Robert's office does doesn't get as much coverage because it's in the dirt. It's underground. It's hard to see until there's a building set on top of it. So the expansion project makes Haverhill so much more valuable to the state of Ohio now. So once again, Robert, thank you for all your work on this project. We're going to see big things down in that corridor for sure.
Definitely.
Any additional comments? All right, we're going to get started with the meeting. If I can get an approval for the minutes of March the 3rd.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of March the 3rd as submitted.
Second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of resolution authorizing the Scioto County Engineer to request the Director of the Ohio Department of Transportation to review engineering and traffic investigation for Allegheny Hill Road, County Road 14.
Is there any questions on item number 2? Hearing none?
I'd like to make a motion to adopt.
I'll second that.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of Scioto County Regional Water District Number 1, right-of-way easement for 138 Barclay Road, parcel number 0724447.000, Harrison Township.
The next 3 items are actually connected to the SOAR business project and the water expansion out there. This is for one of those easements. Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none?
I'd make a motion on item 3 to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of Scioto County Regional Water District Number 1, right-of-way easement for Barclay Extension Road, parcel number 070801002, Harrison Township.
Any comments on item number 4? Hearing none?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of Scioto County Regional Water District Number 1, right-of-way easement for Bennett Schoolhouse Road, parcel number 070801003, Harrison Township.
Any comments or question on this easement, item 5? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
And I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of request for appropriation transfer of funds,
Any comments or questions on 6? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of accepting miscellaneous reports,
Are there any comments or questions on our miscellaneous reports? This week, it's Rush and Boone Township.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of memorandum of understanding between the Scioto County Commissioners, Scioto County Engineer, Nile, Clay, Rush, Union, and Porter Township, and this is the one using contractors with the bidding process.
Okay, thank you. Is there any comments or questions on item 11? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of resolution proclaiming March 2022 as Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month in Scioto County, Ohio.
Do that, and Matt Purcell and his team does a wonderful job over there. And they care for a very important part of our population, and they do a wonderful job. And again, we do need to bring awareness to the DD community.
$137.04 to the Shelley Company upon the recommendation of Engineer Darren LeBrun. Any comments or questions? Hearing none.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In a matter of resolution establishing load limits on various county roads and township roads in Scioto County, Ohio. In the matter of resolution scheduling a special meeting for the Scioto County Board of
583 Robert Lucas Road in Lucasville at 6:00 p.m. Once again, this is a March 29th meeting, and it'll be a special meeting for general purposes. The clerk will provide notice to the media outlets and have requested such notification at least 24 hours in advance of the March 29th meeting. Any comments or questions regarding item 19? Hearing none.
I'll make a motion that we adopt that.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of satisfaction of mortgage regarding a CHIP program.
This is a satisfaction of a mortgage bearing the date of May 7th, 2007, given to Evelyn Baldwin and Larry Baldwin, Mildred Baldwin, Stephen Baldwin, to secure the payment of $3,629. It has been fully complied with, and the same is hereby satisfied and discharged. Any comments or questions on item 20?
I'm just glad that we continue to see these mortgages being taken care of and satisfied,
Yeah.
actually. And of course, part of our CHIP program with repair work and things like that on different people's houses, mostly low income. And that the CHIP program has been doing that for several years, and the ladies here in the office do a wonderful job. That's a pat on the back, Jen.
Thank you.
Pat on the back. And
Mark
they
it
do a
down, date
wonderful
and
job
time.
doing that for the citizens of our county and for the city right here in Portsmouth City, as well as everywhere. But also, as part of that, something to think about. It's kind of hard. This is kind of something that I hate right now, is the fact that repair costs are so high, and we're not being able to help as many people, but they haven't increased the amount of money being made available. So it's reducing the amount of people we can help because of material costs, supply chain issues, and everything else. So unfortunately, that's the situation right now. But the company that actually does the scoring and everything else, which is third party, they're doing their best to spread the money out as best as possible, but it's kind of frustrating right now. So, but this is a positive thing. Satisfied mortgage, another happy customer. So, very, very happy about that.
Any additional comments or questions? Hearing none.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of approving payment of the regular schedule of accounts for the various funds, moral obligations, and the then and now certificates in the total amount of $386,642.38.
Are there any comments or questions on item 21? Hearing none.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of communication from the Scioto County Children's Services Board regarding board restructure.
So we sent out a letter to the board for our intentions to restructure. Of course, the board had 60 days to respond. And it appears on their Tuesday meeting, this past Tuesday, the board went ahead and took the action to agree with and accept the restructure. Over the past week, I personally have had meetings with Friday, Tammy Morton, our prosecutor's office, Judge Lemons, Jason, just to have the conversation and making sure everybody is on the same page of how we tackle the growing number of kids, how we're moving kids through the system. It's not just a CPS issue. Everybody touches this this problem, if you will, this processing. But just having those conversations, we're already setting plans in place. We thought we'd have a little more time, but that's okay. But we did have those conversations. It was very good conversations. Tammy is on board and has been reaching out to counterparts throughout the state that have just gone through a very similar restructure. All the feedback she is getting is that at the beginning there's a little bit of pain, because anytime you're combining two things together, there's some pain. But overall, it's been a very positive experience for the directors of JFS and CPS in those counties. So that was encouraging to hear. We're going to have ongoing conversations with Judge Lemons and the prosecutor team, and of course JFS and CPS as we move forward, and just being mindful of the different components and how each organization impacts children's services and the population we're serving. Also had an opportunity to have a conversation with Jeffrey Van Dusen and a couple members from his team, the rapid response team. So just for background purposes, the first time they ever rolled out rapid response was in this county. This first time the state always had a stance of, hey, that's a local issue. We're kind of here, but we're not getting involved. The first time they got involved was through their rapid response, and it was for this county. They've been working with CPS for about the past year, on and off. We had a very good conversation with Jeff and the team. The state of Ohio will be investing in an outside consultant through Accenture to send them down to review our procedures and policies and get a different look on it, but then also even look at the statewide JFS interaction through their rapid response. So they said, hey, grade us, like our rapid response, are we doing what we should be doing? So we already have those conversations. We will be having conversations with the unions of each CPS and JFS. I think the main thing for everybody to understand is nobody's job is at risk here. This is truly a restructuring of the operations and the financial responsibility to shift that to the commissioners. So, we once again thank the board for their continued service. There is opportunity to serve as an advisory board, an advisory arm, but we're just taking over the operations and the finances. So I know there's a lot of questions concerning a lot of things, and we're still working through that. We're still working through that interaction. When do we combine people? When do we not? When do we have, do we use the space down here? When do we not? And we're really relying on the experts here through JFS. We're relying on Tammy and Jason's knowledge and input of this system. And quite honestly, being mindful of the team. And because quite honestly, this is going to be stressful for them. Change is always stressful. But if there's any words of encouragement, every other county we have spoken to that has went through this has been a positive change, not just for the staff, but also for the organization and ultimately the children that they serve. So once again, we did receive notification that the board took action Tuesday. Once they had 60 days, they went ahead and took action Tuesday to accept the restructure. So we now move forward. Any comments or questions?
I would just like to applaud the board for their quick action, and I thank them for doing that. I also, after our meeting Monday, it was heartwarming to me to see that we're all, we had the meeting with Tammy, with some people from the state, Job and Family Services, and what we're facing here, it's not just Scioto County, it's a statewide, probably a nationwide crisis. But what I gathered from that meeting was that everyone realizes that there's, first of all, not enough money, and there's obviously a need for improvement in how we're handling things, and the state as well. So they were on board. It was very, it made me feel good to know that they were just as much putting their everything into this to try to correct the situation that we have here and all over the state. So I applaud them for their dedication to these issues as well, because it's the main thing is the children, and we're all about the children. So thank you all.
Thank you for that.
I would just like to add, we if we keep the children as the main focus, everything will work out, and we have to. And we realized through this whole entire process that there's been a few voices that have been very loud against this. And I understand some of their concerns. I would just point out, though, as Commissioner Coleman has said, that there have been some very loud voices for this. We have also heard. I've heard from more citizens from the county saying, great job, way to go, move forward, make change, than I have on the other side. And a lot of those are foster parents, people that are actually in the middle of all this. And a lot of times they don't want to voice their opinion too loud in public, because a lot of times on certain sites you'll hear a lot of angst and retribution and anger, and people are very rude at times, and I'll leave it at that. But I would say that if you know everything that's happened, if you've been involved all along, you would understand a lot of the thoughts that have occurred from this board as well as the Children's Services Board. We, you know, in talking with Director Moore at JFS, they're already realizing some possible efficiencies. Not possible, they are going to be a lot more efficient. Logistics is very important in this realm, and when you have people working under the same roof, you have better access, your communication increases, your costs go down under that realm, and I believe that they're going to recognize a lot of an increase in efficiencies. And these were the things that were echoed by the state. ODJFS, you know, has said that from their experience, when they have done this in other places, which we will be 78th out of 88, that they have found great efficiencies during that process. There's also monies that are made available that otherwise weren't made available because of the separation of the two. So by coexisting, they will realize those things as well. So, and then some of the data transfer points where they couldn't get, just for instance, you know, income verification for Title IV-E. Now there's another step that income verification can be had within JFS. So there's a lot of those same people are provided services from both organizations. So they wouldn't be pulling their hair out so much trying to get those kind of things that greatly affect the bottom line of Children's Services as far as their income and their revenue sources, Title IV-E namely. So there's a lot of things that are pointing in the right direction. But what I really like about everything is everybody has the same interest at heart. Even if you're against it, you still care about the kids. And that's what matters. Our county over the years has shown great support for the children of our community. And we have to make sure that they are put first and foremost in all of our decision making. It's all about the kids. And I really truly believe that is what has happened in this case. There's a lot of follow-up that's going to have to be taken by this board, a lot of work that's going to have to take place, working with juvenile court, working with CPS, working with JFS, working with child support, all of this just all lumps together. But, you know, in a big way, we have taken ownership of this, and we are going to drive this and make this work. Where it was very difficult for the Children's Services Board to be able to do that. Very difficult to be able to do it just because of the structure. And they were very split on a lot of decisions too. They couldn't agree on a lot of things. And we're going to have to take the bull by the horn basically and run this thing. And then I think the proof will be in the pudding a year from now. I really do. And we'll be able to look back and say this was a good move. But again, it's all about the kids. We need to make sure that we keep our eye on that ball and make sure that we do right by the kids. And we believe that, I believe firmly that we're doing that, and that we're going to make this into a positive, very positive thing.
Thank you both for your comments. Can I get a motion to accept the communication?
I'll make the motion to accept.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis. Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of satisfaction of mortgage regarding the revolving loan program,
This is a satisfaction of a mortgage bearing the date of May 15th, 2000. given to Gary Blackburn, and Heidi Blackburn to secure a payment of $200,000. This has been fully complied with, and the same is hereby satisfied and discharged. The satisfaction of the mortgage bearing the date of May 12th, 2000, given to Gary Blackburn to secure a payment of $150,000 has been fully complied with, and the same is hereby satisfied and discharged. Any comments or questions regarding item 23?
Of course, that has to do with the Blackbird's Grocery in New Boston.
Yep.
The original loan was made in 2000 from the county's economic development revolving loan. That is now paid. Of course, many know that they decided to get out of the grocery business and they sold the building. I think Habitat for Humanity's in there and they're using it, and I think they're also leasing space. But anyways, in order to be released from the liens, they had to pay off the debt. So they have now done that, and the mortgage has been satisfied.
All right. Any additional comments or questions?
No, sir.
Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
And I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of authorizing the clerk to advertise notice to bidders for 17th Street Community Center project regarding the CDBG Direct Allocation Program.
Commissioner Davis, would you like to comment on this item?
Sure. We started down this path a while ago in the middle of COVID. One of the CDBG projects, the block grant project, Community Development Block Grant Project, CDBG, we filed and we did win monies toward this project. It's $180,000 toward the renovation of the 17th Street Community Center, which is near Kendall Heights. And we are going to be putting that out for bid for contractors. So this is authorizing the clerk to do so, all right? And they'll be putting that out. So local contractors, if you're watching, or if you know a local contractor that might be interested, this would be a renovation of the kitchen, installing a commercial kitchen that helps with the homeless that are up there that they're housing right now, showers, new windows, paint. If you've been up to the 17th Street Community Center, it needs updated. A lot of the equipment that's in there is original Armory stuff. So this will update all of that, and the homeless community that's using that will have access to better facilities. That is something that the 14th Street Community Center, who owns the 17th Street Community Center, is contracted with the Sauter County Homeless Shelter. It's a lot of pieces there, but also for the fact that it is a community center, and it is very important to that community up there. Kendall Heights is right next door, and they are trying to do more programming and do more family things there, and this will facilitate that in a bigger way, and we're just glad that we're able to be part of that. THSD Architects was a vital part in getting us to where we are now, Dave Stone and his team. So we are going to be moving forward, getting this bid out, local contractors bid. As soon as we get the bids in, we look at it. This will be over a period of 3 weeks, Amanda, I believe it was. We have to bid twice out, it'll be a period of 3 weeks. And then once we get those in, we'll be able to word those out and get those projects started. So very good day for the center up there.
Any other comments? I would just like to say, we know we have a homeless problem in the community, and anytime we can enhance services within the county, 17th Street, 14th Street does a really good job with the population that they serve, and to be able to give them better facilities to execute their mission is just valuable. And it's also important for people that are homeless to also be able to maintain some dignity. So to be able to fix the restrooms or the shower rooms and be able to provide for their meals in the kitchen, it's a very needed service, and they do a really good job. So I'm glad we're able to make sure this money goes to such a worthy cause.
And they were also doing some GED work up there.
That's right.
They were offering GED programs, which is really nice if you could walk over from Kendall Heights. A lot of people have transportation challenges, and be able to take their GED education is really important. So it's a win. It really is a big win, and just to be able to make it nice. I don't know if you saw some of the pictures or not, but the place wore out. It just, you think about it, it's golly, 80 years old. I mean, it was tired and it needed updated, and this will supply that. Commercial kitchen, equipment, nice, stainless, it's just gonna be so much better for everyone that works up there. And kind of puts them on par with the 14th Street Community Center, which is what, we need, and to let the people up in Kendall Heights and up there in that community, High Street and other places know that they got a nice place to go to. So it'll be a good thing.
Very good. Can I get a motion for item 24?
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of communication from American Electric Power of Ohio regarding Wheelersburg area improvement projects.
This is a notification we received for an in-person open house. It's actually tonight, from 5:30 to 7:30 PM at the Wheelersburg Middle School, and this will be conducted by AEP. This project, they're calling it the Wheelersburg Area Improvement Project, involves the building of 5 miles of 138 kilovolt power line, rebuilding about 2 miles of power line, removing about 10 miles of existing transmission facilities, and then replacing the Wheelersburg substation on Earwood Lane with Sweet Gum substation located on Ohio 522 and Mill Road in Wheelersburg. If you have any questions, if you're in that community and you have questions regarding this project, of course, show up tonight at their in-person open house from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Wheelersburg Middle School. Can I get any additional comments or questions? Sorry.
I would recommend, if you are a property owner that's affected by this, you should have already been contacted
Agreed.
well before this meeting. If you live in those areas and you are in the area of Earwood Lane, the Wheelersburg substation, Sweet Gum substation, Mill Road, the Althea substation in Franklin Furnace, you can actually go online and see this. You should have already received information on this. If you have questions, contact AEP or show up at this meeting, because I know we've had a couple of other situations where property owners were not properly notified. Properties change ownership, and because of that, they sometimes send it to the wrong names, they send it to the wrong addresses, and we would highly recommend that happen. This happened just a couple weeks ago with a property owner, major property owner, on another project. And even though GIS is updated, or a GIS system is updated and names are updated, when you start a project that is multi-year faceted, sometimes they go off old information, and that old information is what can steer everybody wrong. So just recommending, please, that if you live in that area and you have questions or concerns, please show up for this. It's very important.
Very good. Thank you. And with that, can I get a motion?
I make motion we accept the communication from AEP.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
That is all on the agenda.
Do we have any items on the agenda? Or off the agenda? Welcome. Any questions?
Welcome, everyone.
From the press? None from the press?
One on the agenda, well, there's two on the agenda.
Okay.
From Mark Craycraft, the CPS board voted not to fight the restructuring. What aspects of their action plan do you like and plan to implement?
Okay, so their action plan, I think we agree with their action plan. The execution was the problem, not because it's a bad plan, it's because they wouldn't be able to execute it. I know Melissa Bennett had been talking about 12 and 24 months now for, since middle of last year. And I think even in that meeting, she said it took her 3 months to get information.
I think she started right off the bat in January of
She did.
21. She was talking about it.
So the 12
She was
and
a major
24
advocate.
months, we're looking at that, actually part of the conversation on Friday that I had with Judge Lemons and Prosecutor Tiemann and Jason Mantell was, hey, how do we identify? And we've been saying, I think you heard Commissioner Davis say this last week or the week before, there hasn't been a great way to track. So Judge Lemons has committed to go through his records and get us a time frame of which kids are in which part of the process and how long they've been in the system. And then we're going to start prioritizing. We've also talked about utilizing technology. We have a system that we could use. It hasn't been implemented yet. So I know Tammy Moore Morton is working on getting temporary help to just upload all of the cases into the system that has a more robust reporting so we can better track. So 12 of 24, of course. Title IV-E, of course, I think we had 107 kids at last count that did not qualify. In talking to JFS, they did review, and the number's close, but they don't think we're utilizing it as much as we could. In their estimation, at any given time, about 30% of the population won't qualify for Title IV-E. So, I mean, we're actually kind of there. 100's a lot, but that's still about a fourth of our population. So they're going to be helping us with that review. Of course, foster families. We need more foster families, but how do we recruit? And it's not just the recruiting of the foster families. We talk about that a lot. But what services are we able to provide them, and what support are we able to provide them? We hear anecdotally that private agencies are able to provide better services and wraparound services and different things they're doing for the families and the children that currently our system is not providing. So we're reviewing that. Me personally, I never disagreed with the plan. My concern was always the how. Like, okay, we have this plan, but how do we execute it? And from a board structure, they just didn't have the ability, just the way they were set up, to move as rapidly as we would need to. Just going back to Melissa's original comment, it took her 3 months to get information. That's not going to happen here. Like, we're not going to wait that long. And I'm not saying it's not a Melissa thing. She just, for whatever reason, the information was never produced to her, and I understand that frustration. So we're working on that and being able to better utilize data and analytics and tracking. But we got to get the systems in place first and foremost, and that's a little deeper than the board is able to impact the agency, quite honestly. Any additional comments or questions on that?
Go ahead, Kathy.
Just other than the plan was a good one. It would take time to put it in action, and we have to remember their fiscal situation wouldn't allow for that. So that's really all I need to add.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Kathy. Part of the plan required spending more money, even in the short term. Whether it happened at CPS or if we did an influx of new filings in the court system, more money would need to be spent there through overtime, weekend court, night court, which Judge Lemons is open to. But that's also still an impact that hits this board and the finances of the county. So regardless of those changes, those decisions would still hit here eventually. So this is just it's just eliminating those steps, and we now own the problem. We own the financial responsibility, the operational responsibility, and we can move quicker. And once again, it's not a slant on the board. It's the structure in general. There's a reason why other counties had shifted this way. There's an inherently structural issue to be able to move quick enough.
I would stress on the financials. I know I've seen this narrative that's been put out there that Children's Services is $2 million in the red, blah, 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 and that's not the case, but that is the projection for the end of 2022. And what we have done as a Board of County Commissioners is we have stepped in, and if you watch these meetings, we have allocated up to $2 million. We have not given all of that to Children's Services. That is going to be a process, a month-by-month process, where their financial people come to us and say, okay, we need X dollars to do this month. Because they know what their allocation is, what they're getting from the state, from ODJFS, from the levy. You know, they get revenue from the levy, but it also allows us to watch and see, okay, is that amount going down every month? Meaning, is there progress being made in all these other areas? Meaning, getting kids to permanency faster, Title IV-E, you name it. What are we seeing overall in the whole picture? That gives us visibility where we did not have that visibility before. That was the Children's Services Board that had that. So we have to, they had access to those things. So we have to do this. And in other words, the hope is, the vision is that it won't be $2 million, that we'll be able to reduce it as time goes by so that we don't spend. So the resolution was very clear, up to, okay? And we're doing a month-by-month basis. They are solvent. They do have money. They're operating. It's not a problem. But yeah, it was heading toward a train wreck by the end of this year. So here we are in March. We have already stepped in February. We already said we're going to make sure that they are kept operating and running. And things are happening in a positive way. There is going to be accountability. Secondly, I want to address something that's being said about the privatizations. In the press, it's almost like we don't have anybody privatized now. I've even seen comments that privatization is the wrong way to go. Well, if that's your stance, then 70% of the children would not be in placement right now, would not be in a foster home, would not be in kinship, would not be anywhere, because I'm going to tell you right now, 70% of the children are already in privatized foster homes. That is NECO, that is Oasis, that is Stepstones, there's multiple companies that we contract with currently. Okay, so this is not an untried thing. I saw comments about, it's all about the numbers and it's all about this and children are going to die. Well, I'm going to tell you, unfortunately, child welfare is inherently, there have been deaths in the system, and that breaks everybody's heart. We have had that happen in Scioto County. Those were not NECO homes. Okay? Boy, it got quiet in the room. Those were not NECO homes. All right, so let's be realistic here. This is not untried. This is something we're doing now. Have been doing it for years. And I have heard from several foster parents that love working with the privates. They get more benefits, they get more wraparound services, they get mental health. A lot of these kids are traumatized beyond anybody could even dream. Look, guys, I've lived this. I know a lot of these kids, the level of trauma, people, if they only saw what some of these kids have seen and been through, you would understand what we're talking about. I, for one, am willing to spend more money if it takes that to help these children heal in the short term. We're going to have to do that. Privatization costs more. That's my opinion, okay? Now, there's two other members on this board, and there's juvenile court, and there's judges involved, and there's other people. I understand that. But having been through this and knowing what this is and seeing, and still, after all this time, seeing the triggers that hurt kids and things that happen that make the kids go right back to where they were years before. Buck, you know this, you've seen this, you've lived it too. I mean, people don't understand until they've actually seen it and seen that child in their fear. That'll change you as a person when you see that personally. And you'll be willing to do whatever it takes to take that fear and anxiety and pain away from that child. So I just want everybody to know that before you knock it, you really, A, need to know what you're talking about, and B, have an open mind, because there are benefits. I understand that there are 24 foster families within CPS system right now. Some of those have reached out to me and said, I'm willing to go now. I'm willing to go over to private. Yeah, they actually get more daily of a stipend. They get that. So, I mean, it's a positive thing. They get more help. They get more support. So I'll leave it at that. I just wish everybody would know all the details and the facts before they comment. You know, I mean, I think that's important for the press to be very clear and show all parts of it. And I see our clerk is waving because it is time to do bids.
Yeah.
So we need to move forward, but I just wanted to express that today.
And if there are other questions, we will answer those. We are always available, always. I know I'm on the phone a lot of weekends, nights, so if there are more questions, we will get to those. We do have a bid opening at 10:30.
Can you see if there's any more bids?
What we'll need to do is probably do we want to end this meeting and then do a second recording? Just go straight into it? Okay. We'll just go straight into it. Can we do that, or do you have a technology issue?
We have technical difficulties, but
Okay.
we'll work those.
What are they? What's wrong?
It's going in and out of connection. When I finally got back in, I don't know where it is. I believe it's on Jim's.
Okay.
We'll repost.
We'll repost,
If
yeah.
Okay, so we're on right now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay,
And we're just waiting for,
She's just checking to see if there's any more bids and,
and this is
let's
the
give
bid
it-
opening for concrete aggregate grout materials, emulsion, cutback, and primer.
Yep,
where's the engineer's part?
that's good.
Where's the engineers? office?
DG is here. And
I'm so
they-
sorry, but we have a lot of special needs kids, and they've been waiting over half an hour. They're starting to get agitated, so we're gonna have to either,
We had you down for 11.
oh, they just come here at 10, we was on the bus at 9:30.
Goodness.
So, you want us to just go ahead, I'm sorry, I missed it.
This won't take very long, but
We have to do a bid opening.
we have to do this now, though.
This will take 15 minutes, and then we'll be ready.
Okay.
We'll try to do it fast. Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
So will you be opening the bids then?
Oh, thank
There.
God.
There they are. Hey.
The crew's
Laying
here.
up. My goodness, they sent an army in today.
Well, I like these guys to get some sunshine every now and then. But these,
Amanda, do you want to turn the camera on Darren?
yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, but
Look, the public want to see your face.
I don't know.
They want to see you.
No, these are the guys that do all of our design work, so we like to get them out every once in a while. And I think during the open house, we had $1 million worth of design work on that table we showed you guys. So these are the guys that get it done. So I am proud of what these guys do for the county.
some of these are combined, so these, do you want me just to,
Let's just open it. And
okay.
so we've got 3 different bids.
What are they?
So we're bidding for concrete, we're bidding for our stone aggregate, and then we're bidding for like our liquid asphalt. So those are the 3 different ones we're getting. So if we can,
Okay, so this one looks like it says it's for emulsion, cutback, and primer materials, and this is from Marathon Petroleum Company.
okay. It says that, and if we can find it. But
Did you say, what was the contractor's name?
this is from Marathon Petroleum. So we have 5 different items that we're asking for a bid for this. So this is for like how we make our liquid emulsion, like our cold mix asphalt and our chip seal materials. So for HF MS2, the delivered price is $2.14. That's a gallon. AE200 is $2.34. SS-1H is $2.19. Our MCs, $3.14. And RS2 is $2.19.
Okay, the next one's from Asphalt Materials, or from Asphalt Materials, and it's for concrete, grout, aggregate materials, emulsion, cutback, and primer.
Yep. Okay, so this bid is from Asphalt Materials out of Marietta. So for HFMS2, $2.085, 2.085. For our AE200, 2.235. No bid for SS-1H. No bid for all grades of MCs. For our RS-2, 2.085. For our Permacoat 250 patching grade, 3.585. And for Permacoat 200, which is paving grade, 3.085. to the
Next
left.
one's from Hanson Aggregates, and it's for aggregate materials.
Okay, so that's probably the only two that we'll have for the liquid emulsion. This is for our stone. Okay, so we get a lot of bids for the stone. What we do is we bid out for them to deliver all shapes and sizes of stone to all of our outposts. So I'll just read out aloud, just for delivered to Lucasville for the main items. So it's a public bid, and then we'll review it from there. So this is from Hanson Aggregates. This is Plum Run out of Peebles, and delivered to Lucasville for number 8, $18.55 a ton. For 57s, $16.25 a ton. And for 304, $13.50 a ton.
The next one's from Latham Limestone, and it's for concrete and grout materials, aggregate materials.
Okay, so this is Latham. This is up off of 124. All right. So let me find the bid. So they've got several prices in here. So we'll go to the delivered to Lucasville. Okay, so this is, it's 56 State Route 728, but this is material delivered to Lucasville from Latham, limestone out of Latham, Ohio. For number 8 limestone, $19 a ton, even, 19.00. Number 9's $14.50 a ton. For 57s, $17.50 a ton. For 304, $15 a ton.
And the next one's from the Wells Group for concrete and grout bid.
Okay, this is where we get our concrete. We buy it in bulk. This is for the end of the year, so this is a concrete price from the Wells Group out of West Liberty, Kentucky. So for Class QC1, $157 per cubic yard. ODOT 510 grout, $177. Class QC2, $163. Class QC3, $169. Class QCFS, $193. Class QCMS, $183. And LSM 100, $117.
The next one's from Topaz for concrete and grout materials.
Okay. So this is Towpath Ready Mix out of Lucasville. For Class QC1, $150 a yard. For grout, $150 a yard. For 5,000 PSI, $150. For Class QCFS, $175. And for LSM 100, $90.
And that is all the bids.
That's all it is. That's okay.
All right. Thank you, Engineer LeBrun.
Yep.
Coming over with this, the bid opening. Can I get a motion to submit the bids for the engineer for review?
I will make the motion to submit the bids to,
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman?
aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Hi. All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you for everything you guys are doing. Awesome work. We were just, yeah, it's a lot higher. That's exactly what I said. I leaned over and said, that's higher.
A lot higher.
Yeah.
So, we have some of the students from DD waiting on us. So at this point, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second,
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Ms. Coleman?
aye.
Mr. Powell?
Hi. Thank you all for
Thanks, guys.
watching. If
Thanks
there's
for-
any questions, we will
Sorry,
follow up.
dragged out. Sorry about that. Hey,